what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Alone Together Pittsburgh. We are streaming to you live from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. You may have noticed if you watched the show last night, I am back indoors. The power came back on at my house at about 9:15 this morning. So from 7 o'clock until 9:15, we were in darkness over here. And if you weren't tuned in yesterday, I did the show from my car, which led for an interesting dynamic to the show. This is our 80th episode, if I'm not mistaken. Dave, is this our 80th episode?
Come on.
I believe it is.
You gotta be kidding me. 80 episodes? Come on.
80 episodes. I think there should be a... Okay,
look at that.
all right.
Look at that. Notes from last night, Patrick. That was magic in the car. It was like the heavens were throwing all sorts of hitches our way. We were jumping on them like Donkey Kong, man. We were jumping barrels. It was amazing.
Well, it was a perfect way to get us over the hump. We have another round number here, 80 episodes of Alone Together Pittsburgh.
Boom.
So, I mean, if it's your first time tuning in, thank you, welcome. We've been doing this since the beginning of the shelter-in-place order, so early March. You can do the math. We've been doing 3 or 4 episodes a week ever since then. We started the show as a way to keep a sense of community going within the arts community, but it kind of branched off to everybody else, and we've kind of evolved along with everybody else going for this. I believe we are still not quite in the green phase. We're in a phase somewhere between yellow and green. Everything isn't 100% open and ready to go. We call it like an olive colored phase, I suppose. But or baby poop green. Yes, the baby poop green phase. I wasn't ready for the graphic to come up, but that is a sweet graphic. But yeah, so I think the COVID numbers were just over 60 today, and I think they were just around the 60 yesterday, to show that 14 from a couple of days ago was a little bit of a... I think the testing results are coming back at such a kind of a roller coaster thing. I think 60 is all right. We're trending in the right direction from a couple weeks ago, so we need to keep that up. And just a reminder to everybody, just wear your masks when you're out. Be cool to people. Don't be a jag. Put on a mask. That's cool. So something else that we have going on here, a little bit of housekeeping we do before we get to our guests tonight, and we have some fantastic guests. Matt Galluzzo, President, CEO of Riverlife, is going to be here with the contest winners from the photo contest that they have going on. Natalie Bencivenga has a killer 5 minutes with, and Dave Bracey is gonna brew some stuff with us. He's brewing on. So it's a killer show lined up for you tonight. But last night we had a pretty killer overnight thing in the Engine House 25 Wines Jag-Off poll. That's right. We have a little thing called the Jag-Off bracket poll. We put it into action the day that the March Madness was canceled, right? So college basketball was canceled. We came in with our Pittsburgh-centric version of a bracket poll, the Jag-Off poll. And we do not want you to think that this is a negative, right? We are using Jag-Off as a term of endearment. Also, we threw it together so fast when we started, we didn't really think of the ramifications of it. We didn't think it was going to spread over 70, I think 8 episodes of this. So there's a lot of polls. So Dave, tell them what the overnight poll was.
I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed that I didn't have this ready last night. But man, and it's a beauty. Billy Porter versus the Pittsburgh left. What do you do? We're getting near the top, where the best go against the best. All right, let's have a look. See here, I'm going to bring it up right now. The final results, Billy Porter versus the Pittsburgh left. How do you choose? One is a man, one is a cultural institution. Well, only one way to find out. Let's have a look. Here we go. Oh, that's the wrong one. That's the wrong one. That's the wrong one. Tonight's
just give me the results.
41 votes in one day, with Billy Porter pulling it out 78% to 22, 78% to 22.
All right.
Billy Porter dominating the Pittsburgh left. The Pittsburgh left has fallen. Billy Porter moves up the bracket. And that's all you need to know.
So just so you know, Billy Porter has made it to the big Jagoff poll. What's been going on for the last 2 weeks is the little Jagoff bracket poll. We took our in-show polls. They were like kind of a JV team for the big polls. While the big polls were going on, we had the little in-show polls. Now is their time to shine. They're doing battle. It's a heat of 3. Billy Porter just made it in. He joins Fat Man D in the big Jagoff poll, which will start coming at you next week. You can go to our website, togetherpgh.com/vote. You can see the big Jagoff bracket results up to date. But that is on right now. Billy Porter, here's to you. I hope it's a winning season for you. I hope you get your second Emmy. And eventually, we need to get you that we need to get you that Oscar so you can be our first EGOT on the show. We've had Emmys. We've had Tonys. Okay. We've had we had Grammys on the show. We have not yet had an Oscar winner. Okay, so we're looking for that, and I'm hoping for you, Billy Porter, to be that guy. So, okay, that aside, just to let you know, you'll notice up in the corner here, Engine House 25 Wine sponsors the big and little Jagoff bracket polls. Engine House 25 Winery, if you do not know where they're located, they're right where Lawrenceville meets the Strip District, right in Doughboy Square, 3339 Penn Avenue. If you go to enginehouse25.com or eh25.com, you can find the selection of wines they have. They have some killer reds, fantastic artwork on the bottles. They do it all in-house. And they also have a fantastic Chardonnay and a Rosé. And while the pandemic's going on, they are offering free delivery, but also if you're in the close Pittsburgh proximity, but also they have curbside complimentary. You go online, you buy the wine, you let them know when you're coming, you shoot them a text. They bring it out to your trunk, gloves and masks. It's in there, contactless, and you're gone with some of the best wine that you're going to have. They get the grapes from all over the world, from Napa to Chile and everywhere in between. So get on that right now. Go to eh25.com. Also, I almost forgot the best part. If you mention that you found out about them on Alone Together Pittsburgh, you'll receive $5 off per bottle. That's not per case. That is $5 off per bottle. You buy a case of wine, you're saving $50 or $60 here. This is some top quality wine. Yeah, you can't do it. And you know what? You could save the bottle. You could save the bottle. It's a work of art. You put it on the wall. And you know what? If you like your bottle and you like your label, you can call them up and say, hey, I want you to refill this bottle. And they will refill that bottle for you if the timing's right. So thank you to eh25.com, Engine House 25 Winery. But we've got something else to tell you about. We have a little thing that we do called the in-show bracket poll. Dave Mansueto, my ace. Our boy Pete Spinda's not here today. Dave, I want you to tell them about the in-show poll for tonight.
Oh, baby, we got another good one. You know what I mean? I like to have fun when it's not pandemic time. I like to have a good time. I like to get together with my friends. I like to make phone calls and say, hey, old college buddy, let's do this. Let's get together. We got to do something fun. I want to take it mobile. Pedal bar versus floating tiki bar is the Jagoff tonight. Get all your boys together. Get all your ladies together. Get all your dudes, your dudettes, your people, your peeps, your animals, your friends, your families. Put them all on a bar. Float down the river. Pedal. 2 ways to take it. I don't know, man. I've never done it before, but I can't wait. When this pandemic's over, I'm going to be sprung like a trap. Pedal bar versus floating tiki bar. Pick your poison, Patrick Jordan.
By land or by sea. That's it. So you guys watching at home right now, you get the chance to vote. The winner is announced at the end of the show. If you're watching the show later on in the night, if you're on West Coast time, you're catching it later, you do not get to vote in this. If you're listening to our podcast version, audio only of the show, you will not get to vote on this. This is just for you right now. You'll see it. It is live. You're watching on Facebook right now. Just vote. Get it in there. We'll check in on that periodically. By land or by turf. Surf and turf. Well, speaking of surf, I think it's time that we bring out our first guest. There's a lot of drama around this tonight. He is the president and CEO of Riverlife Pittsburgh. Let's welcome back Matt Galluzzo.
Hey, what's going on?
How are you?
I'm fantastic.
Okay, Matt, we are happy to have you back. I will say something though, okay? There's a small level of disappointment, okay?
Yeah.
I'm happy to see your smiling face. I get it, all right?
Yeah.
But the last time you were here, you had talked about, a paddle board on the water.
Yeah.
And then we had talked about these things, right?
Yes.
And you're the river guy, you see?
Yeah, there was not a bait and switch. I need to be honest with you. That was not my intention at all. In fact, I I purchased things through Amazon to keep my electronics dry so that I could get on a paddleboard and be present today on the river. Now, what I couldn't account for was torrential downpours. I couldn't account for that. And so that was a game changer for us. And so I got dressed up and I thought, okay, well, I'll go down to the river and I'll present at the river. And I don't know, 6:15, 6:30 today, torrential downpour again. And so the game got away from me. So I'm sorry.
All right.
For that.
I will give you a pass on that. I will give you a rain check on that. But dad humor on a Friday night. Hey. But seriously though, man, silver lining here. Wasn't tonight supposed to be Party at the Pier?
Yeah. So every year we do a gala, our organizational gala, and it occurs this night every year. And this night last year, we had 900 folks out at the casino, and there were Gateway Clipper rides and revelry, and it was incredible. And hopefully, after COVID, we can get back to that place.
All right. Well, I'm hoping so too. But gale force winds and the tents from the fantastic party that you guys throw, and boat rides and such might not have been the glamorous event that has been the last several years.
Yeah, my colleague Stefan was looking at the skies today and thanking his lucky stars that he wasn't out there managing the installation of tents and catering and floral arrangements. So yeah.
All right. Well, that's okay. Now, before we get to the meat and potatoes here, because you guys shifted things around and put it out to the people to have a little bit of a contest, right?
Yeah.
But before we get to that contest, which I'm excited to talk about, and I'm also excited to be the platform to announce the winners. Yeah. But what else is new with Riverlife? Is there anything that you wanted to talk about?
So yeah, our work is really to create, activate, and celebrate the riverfronts, and we do that through projects and programming. And one of the things that I'm really excited about in response to COVID right now is a program that we are teaming with the Pittsburgh Downtown Partnership and the Office of Public Art. It's called Pittsburgh Creative Corps. We are teaming with illustrators and cartoon artists to do installations along the riverfronts, as well as in downtown, that talk about COVID-related precautions, but also offer hand washing stations, which we are seeing a need for, as we've seen a palpable increase in the number of users along our riverfront. So we've seen a 62% increase of people utilizing open spaces along our rivers. And so this creates for us an amenity to meet that need, so that folks can enjoy those amenities, risk-free.
Well, I mean, I think that's amazing. And do you have all the artists lined up and ready to go?
Well, so a little, behind the curtain, we actually this week just received all of our responses for the artists, and we had 79 respondents to the RFQ, the request for qualification. So there is a pretty significant interest in doing this project, which we're excited about from the arts community. So
all right, that is awesome. It's awesome to hear. Thank you for sharing that with us.
Yeah,
giving the up-to-date thing. When it's done, you come back from a paddleboard, you talk about it, you go to get your hands washed, you jump back in the river.
So I may put on the wetsuit and hop out there and share with you the COVID signs from the riverfront. Maybe we can plan for that once we get a little bit closer. But we should be seeing those dotting the river landscape middle of September, late September. So it's a really quick turnaround for us. So we're excited about it. It's blending public art and the utilitarian components of hand washing. So we're psyched.
All right. So the time has come. Now tell us a little bit about what you guys did in lieu of the party at the pier and how that came to be.
So with COVID-19, we reimagined what Party at the Pier would look like for this year. Frankly, we were sort of desperately concerned about large convenings, and we wanted to make sure that we were, striking a pandemic appropriate tone while acknowledging and celebrating that so many people are using the riverfronts right now. So we shifted to a concept called Party at the Pier, Return to the River portraits, which allowed us to celebrate and connect in a different way. And with full-throated support from our sponsors, including our title sponsor, PNC, we asked folks to find a spot on the river and take a photo. And we had 4 categories. And we created prizes for those categories that we'll talk about tonight. So earlier this week, our judges, Alexis Allen, who's the chief planner with Shayla Hawkins Events, and Aradna Oliphant, president and CEO with Leadership Pittsburgh, selected the winners. And I'm here to share those results. So.
All right. Those are some serious judges.
Heavy hitters for sure.
All right. You were not messing around.
It was
okay.
I think it does need to be said that we are excited to see folks from all over the region sharing their love of the riverfronts in this way, playful, stylish, meaningful way. And obviously we're really grateful for our sponsors, especially PNC, who've empowered us to do such a unique sort of only in a pandemic type event. So I understand, Patrick, you actually might have participated in
perhaps well. I may have. You know what? Let's do it. It's Friday. Let you know what, Dave, you want to show them the picture? There you go, folks. That's the family right there on the river. Right there. Don't cut off Eileen's head, Dave. She's the selling point of the picture there. Pepper and her are the thing. If you cut her off, that's ridiculous. So all right, there's the fam on the river. We were very excited to support and be a part of this. And we will right now just to make it fair, we are removing ourselves from competition, so you don't think it's fixed, because obviously there's no going back from this picture. I'm just joking, but
we did receive photos featuring over 300 Pittsburghers
wow.
and more than a few dogs. So choosing the winners was incredibly tough. But I encourage the audience to check out the full gallery at partyatthepier.org.
Well, we have a little taste of it here that we can roll for you before we go into the. Go ahead.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, Dave. I think we have a little video, a little montage of just a select few of the pictures. From the Party at the Pier. Amazing, and that's just a taste of everything you can see on the website. That's wild.
It's
all right. So the anticipation is killing me. I'm going to give this over to you. Okay, you can run this, and you can say the category, the winner, with the prize packages. Do you think you can handle this, Matt?
I'm going to do my best.
All right, Matt. I believe in you.
Well, so first, thank you so much for sharing your platform and channel to allow us to amplify our message. So thank you for that. Someone had to win. So here are the winners of the individual categories as determined by our judges. The winner of the Picture Perfect Picnic category, winning a $100 gift certificate to Dianoia's and 8 tickets to a Gateway Clipper sightseeing cruise, is Stephen Fowler for his photo called Dining with Friends. As you can see, there's a photo of Mr. Rogers' statue.
Oh, wow. So he's right there on the water. Now, he went above and beyond. Did he already have the trolley, did he just have this prefabricated for this? I see a terrible towel.
We do not get a lot of exposition about the individual photos, so I cannot comment on how this looks like a COVID-related design to me. I'm just saying. Yeah.
People had time on their hands, and they're making lemonade right there. Okay, I see a very Pittsburgh-centric photo here. I love it. The cardigan is right on. Fred looking on in the background. His wife there. There's even a little place for her head to go through the trolley. This is above and beyond. I can see where this one won.
So there you go. Moving on.
The
winner of our physical feat category, winning a pair of Apple AirPods and a charging case and another 8 tickets for a Gateway Clipper sightseeing cruise is Maya Haptis for her photo called Amber Gedman at Point State Park.
Okay,
so you can see it's a skateboarder against the sunset, Science Center in the background.
See, there's drama in this picture, okay? There's depth. I like this. I can also see why this one in the air, the sun. This is what they call the magic hour, I believe, in the world of photography from film or television. So it's spaced out perfectly. You've got a boat in the background. The friends looking on, waiting for their turn. This is money. Okay, this is magic. I am okay with this winning. That is a physical feat right there. Congrats, Maya.
Okay. Our third winner is the pet portrait category, winning again a $100 gift certificate from Pedagogy Pet Supply Store and 8 tickets to a Gateway Clipper sightseeing cruise. The winner of this category is Liz Grand with her photo River Gaze.
Aha. I mean, that's the perfect name for this photo.
Yeah.
But the pet boy. Okay, Liz Grand has won, but what is that pooch's name?
It is photo of dog at Allegheny Landing looking at skyline. That's the description I have here.
Okay, the river gaze is what we'll call that. And that pooch is looking safe. Got a little mask there. Looks like if something happens, can just pull that mask up, cover the nose.
Mask up. Yes.
This is good. Okay, we've got 3 winners here. I'm very excited. All right.
One more category.
Drum roll. Come on.
We have a grand finale that I'll get to.
Okay, good.
Which is really compelling. But the biggest category is Posh Pose, which received the most entries. Because people really love getting dressed up after being in the house for 8 months. The winner of this one will receive 3 jewelry pieces from Sabika, generous gift certificate from Big Burrito, and 8 tickets for Gateway Clipper sightseeing cruise. The Posh Pose category winner is Suzanne Morrow for her photo Hopeful.
Wow. All right. That is posh, and I feel hopeful. All right. I can see it. All right. This one's got some drama to it. This one, as far as Posh Pose go, this one, I'll be thinking about this one for a while. All right. Okay, Suzanne. Okay, I see you. That's good. All right. Okay, I tell you what. You guys have done it. Your judges did a hell of a job. I think you picked. It must have been hard. But I think the winners.
Huge thanks to our judges for selecting those winners. But we do have a grand finale, Patrick.
Nice.
So every single person who participated in this in the contest is eligible for the grand prize package, right? Which is a 2-night staycation at the Fairmont Hotel in a deluxe room and a $100 food and beverage credit and 20 tickets on the Gateway Clippers wine tasting cruise.
That's a party.
Terry Wargenis really came through at the Gateway Clippers. So I am going to pick through a Google random number generator a number that corresponds to all of the participants. The number, as you can see, is 28, and I'm going to go to, this is great television, I know, to the names.
We got the drama's building. I like the number.
The name is Ryan Tingle with his photo Smoky Sunrise, which we will not be able to show here, but Ryan Tingle is our grand prize package winner.
Ryan Tingle, ladies and gentlemen. It was so random. We weren't prepared to pull it up. Just to let you know.
That's how. Yeah.
Smoky Sunrise takes it. I can only imagine what that picture. Wouldn't it be great? If it was like midnight? Would it be great if it was just and everyone's heads right now? It's a smoky sunrise. All right, we love it. Well, I tell you what, I was not prepared for the big grand prize happening there, but we did have some answers from Lisa Fowler about her trolley costume. It was a leftover from Halloween. It was built and fabricated for Halloween, and that that trolley was Lisa, while you're still watching, we're gonna have to keep Matt here for this. Was that for this coming Halloween, or was it from last Halloween? And where did you store that trolley? I mean, how much space do you have to keep that thing sitting around? Okay, Lisa, if you're still watching, or if you're not celebrating right now, popping champagne, popping bottles over at your place, getting ready for the victory to go for it, because I'm sure. Also, I almost want to have Lisa on to ask her some questions. What did the onlookers say when they saw this being taken on the riverfront? I mean, there's lots of questions, Lisa. Okay, it was from Halloween 18, so she's been keeping that thing in storage for quite some time there. That's two calendar years. All right. Okay, that's exciting. So see, this is happening in real time, Matt. If you have any questions for Matt before we say goodbye, now's the time. We can pop them out here. All right, Matt. So this is exciting. This was big. This was
only
big.
possible to have this interaction on a live format. I'm incredibly grateful. Wow.
Yeah.
That's
see
amazing.
that?
Thanks, Lisa.
Yeah, there you go, Lisa. Thank you, Lisa. There's more coming from Lisa. We got a bunch of waves from the river. It was so much fun to do. All right. So now here's a question. Next year, heaven willing, we're all back to normal. Okay. Mm-hmm. Party at the Pier is back in full effect on a beautiful night, like it has been just about every year you've done it. Would you continue this kind of contests around the Party at the Pier?
That has been on sort of in the analysis of this event, because we've gotten such a great outpouring of support. We have talked about sort of what this might mean. What could we do as a photo contest? Because it's just easy for folks to do. And, so I think that's part of our consideration for next year. I think ideally we are back to doing Party at the Pier, getting folks together, really celebrating some of the iconic spaces that we have on the riverfront. I think that's, we've heard that loud and clear from folks that they want to get back to that type of venue. So
awesome. Well, I know I can't wait. It's my favorite party of the year. Stefan's pumped up. He's excited for it. Jackie Page said it's the best party of the year. So I agree with everybody who's saying it. Thank you. Lindsay Kift is feeling that she might have been robbed. Another contestant.
We're going to have
on
to
the show.
Yeah, Lindsay, we'll follow up with you if there's real questions. I do want to say this really quickly. I think thanks to your support for this, the support of our sponsors, we were able to raise nearly $129,000 for Riverlife's work. So this incredible support empowers us to do that creation, the activation, and the celebration of the riverfronts. And our hope is to really connect people through exceptional places and experiences. So this is a really important moment for us. So thank you for that.
Well, hey, thank you for sharing this with us, and thank you for everything that you're doing for Pittsburgh. It goes without saying. I mean, it is it's amazing what you guys are doing, and just that level of support that you just mentioned there just goes to show you got to keep doing what you're doing, because people believe in you.
Thanks, Patrick. Thank you so much.
So Matt, keep on doing what you're doing, but you've got to let me know when you want to come back, because I know Pete's away right now. Pete's not here right now, which he's probably happy. Wait, Pete just said he wants to do a group float down the river because they have dinghies that they've been floating on. But but this is probably making Pete feel a little bit better that he couldn't be here tonight, because if you were on the water and he couldn't be on the water, it would have been sad. But now we can make up for this. So everybody keep tuning in. You never know when Matt's going to be here. And he's going to do the live river report from his paddleboard.
And it sounds like we'll have like a flotilla. Like if we could just do a flotilla down the river.
We could do that, man. We just one long rope, and we'll all just kind of hold on, and we'll just do it. Dave and Pete have been doing this all pandemic long. This is like I'm the only one that's still kind of been landlocked, but maybe I'll change my mind. But Matt, thank you so much, and congratulations to all the winners.
Indeed.
All
Congrats.
Right. So we'll talk soon. Have a great weekend.
You do the same. Thanks so much. Stay safe.
You. And good luck. And everybody, look out for next year, Party at the Pier. If I have any idea about it, I think it's going to be bigger and better than it has been. Them having 2 years to to plan on this thing. So that's great, Dave. Now let's check in on our in-show poll for a couple of minutes here. How are things doing here? Oh wow. Well, it looks like the
Wait a minute. Dave. It just hit me. Paul Rudd. A little Paul Ruddy, would we say? About Matt? Maybe?
Paul Rudd-ish? Okay.
That charm, that boyish good looks.
Paul
Ruddy.
The laugh.
The laugh.
Right.
The well-kept everything. I don't know. I'm just,
He's very well kept. Do you consider Paul Rudd a well-kept individual?
Well,
Paul
not
Rudd.
too well-kept, right? Just enough. Just enough not to be creepy. You know what I mean? That's coming from somebody who is unmistakably creepy.
Okay. Well, now tell me about what's going on with this poll, Dave.
Oh, well, looks like the floating tiki bar is dominating with 81% of the pedal bar, only 19. I am surprised. I don't know quite how this one's playing, whether you got fans of the tiki bar or haters of the tiki bar, fans of bikes and pedals or who knows? But it's up to Pittsburgh to decide this one. Floating tiki bar, pedal bar. Vote now, people. This is your chance, your last chance.
Well, there it is. I mean, you've got a floating tiki bar. I think it might be running away with it because, we have a Riverlife crowd tonight. That could be it. It is on the river. I have never done either of those things. I do tend to feel sorry for the people that are pedaling to get a drink, and especially the person that's steering that thing. But hey, to each their own. You can burn off those calories while you're putting something back. So that's it. So
I just get jealous because they're having more fun than everybody.
They kind of are. I feel that. So I think we've got here both of the shows. In-show options are the most jag things in the city. We've got and Yeska is a hater of both. So that's cool. So okay, vote for what you like least. I don't know. Vote for the hatred. So that's good. But before I talk about anything else here, I want to tell you a little bit about two things. One, trickling across the screen there, I should have probably talked about this at the start of the show. That's our Venmo. If you go at togetherpgh.com, it supports the artists that are involved in the show every night. Money goes directly to them. So if you can kick in a couple of bucks, we would really appreciate it. $1, $2, $5, every little bit helps. If you can get a couple of round numbers on the end of it, I mean, that would be fantastic too. But anything you can give would be greatly appreciated. Also, I wanted to tell you a little bit about our another sponsor of ours, Red Start Roasters. If you go to redstartroasters.com and use the coupon code TOGETHERPGH, you will receive 10% off your order. And much like Engine House 25 Winery, they are doing free shipping during the pandemic. Free shipping in the 412 area code. Free shipping in Pittsburgh. If you could go in there, you get the 10% off and you can get it shipped for free. They're a local coffee roaster and they are the only bird-friendly coffee roaster in the area. They are so bird-friendly, in fact, that is the coffee that is sold at the aviary. So check out redstartroasters.com and get into it. Also, something else that I haven't talked about in a while, if you're looking to sponsor the show, if you're looking for something to do here, you can always sponsor the show. You can hook us up. You can hit us up in the comments here or go to alonetogetherpgh@gmail.com and you too could be a sponsor of Alone Together Pittsburgh. So moving things along here, as things go on Fridays, we've got a regular contributor who has some more news to share. But I think what we should do tonight is go right into her segment, Natalie Bencivenga's 5 Minutes With.
Hey everyone, I'm Natalie Bencivenga, host of 5 Minutes With. This week I am so excited to have Chef Claude Pierre with me. I have been following him for a long time on social media, always trying to see what he's doing next because there's always something cooking, if you want to use a fun pun, with him. So I was so excited to finally have him on the show. So thank you so much for joining me.
Hey, thanks for having me. And I just want to say I'm just as much of a fan of yours, and I love the fact that you're highlighting so many great things and people too, you know what I mean? So thank you so much for what you're doing. And I can't wait to do this with you because it's like I'm excited. So thank you.
Well, I appreciate it. I know the last time you and I had a phone conversation, I think we could have talked for just hours and hours. And I think we solved all the world's problems too, which
Right, exactly.
So before we begin though, talking about what's going on currently, can you fill people in on what you do and how you kind of became who you are in the community?
So I'm Chef Claude Pierre, but a lot of people know me as Claude or Chef Claude. I like to say that I am a food and hospitality um, teacher, if you will, and student at the same time. I was born and raised in Brooklyn, New York City. We lived in Jersey for a while, so major metropolitan city kind of guy. My family is of Haitian descent, so my mom and dad came here in the early 80s from Haiti. So very resilient. If you know anything about Haiti, 1804, and the Haitian, the pride, it's real. We love to work hard and we love to serve others, but we love to fight, especially like revolution is something that we do. So one of the things that I've done young is like we do everything in the kitchen. So from a Caribbean, island background, everything, you got your report card and you reviewed it in the kitchen. You got, the first phone call with the phone that was connected to the wall in the kitchen, and you had to stand there and have those conversations right there. Yeah. We cracked all the jokes in the kitchen. When you got the bad news, it was in the kitchen. So I had a natural knack to be in the kitchen. My grandmother, Lucienne de Sources, who's 91 right now, she just beat COVID, which is weird and crazy. She's one of the strongest people I know. She actually taught me, and I thought I was tricking her. So I'm like, yeah, grandma, I want to taste this so I could get an early taste. And she actually spun it. And next thing you know, I'm like making rice and making chicken, and she's in the room chilling. And I'm like, wait a minute. I thought I was tricking her. How does she reverse it on me? Needless to say, all my siblings, I have 8 siblings and always cousins and everything, always in the kitchen. Like I said, they would be like, hey, make us some noodles or make them some pasta. We can do this. And I ended up being in the kitchen all the time. Long story short, in high school, I was a standout football player, but I also wanted to be like a ladies' man. I wanted to be the man. You know how it is. And I got into a little bit of trouble, and I lost some scholarship opportunities. And the one thing that I had that I loved and I was passionate about was cooking. So I ended up coming to Pittsburgh to the Le Cordon Bleu Culinary School right downtown. And I loved my experience. I graduated in 05. And I was working since the second day I was here under chefs like Chef Greg Alazan, Derek Stevens, Chef Yves Carreau, who passed away recently, under Sonoma Grill, Ceviche, Nola Perle, all those restaurants. So I got to have a really robust culinary background in serving and managing. And then I also worked for a couple of hotels like the Hilton Hotel, before it was the Wyndham, which then transferred me to the Waldorf Astoria and back home in New York City for a couple of years. So I got a pretty extensive hospitality background. And then from a community standpoint, I've been able to all the way through notice that the majority of the people in the heart of the house, we call it the back of the house, but a lot of us call it the heart of the house.
Italians do that too.
Exactly, so that's where all the love comes from, all the smells and all the feel good and the cleanliness of your hotel and your restaurant. And I've noticed that these are the people that I grew up with. My mother was a housekeeper, and obviously, chefs and cooks come run through the family. And we were able to say, hey, we're going to start Eminent Hospitality, our own hospitality solutions company, which allows people to get a real nice firsthand look on what hospitality looks like and how we can integrate into hotels and restaurants and move up the ladder, not just be dishwashers, housekeepers, but we can train people front of the house, heart of the house, and become management and ownership and enterprise and really do it on a bigger scale. So that's where the birthing of Eminent Hospitality came. And that's a little bit about me and my history and how I got to Pittsburgh.
That's amazing. And what I really love about that is the idea of ownership and having that sense of agency. And from what I've seen from your social media and the work that you do, that's a really big part, I think, at least from my perspective, of your work, is creating an empowerment for people, creating spaces for people to be able to do for themselves too, which I think is really important in building community. So having said that, you got into a little bit of trouble. So what would you suggest for maybe young people who have talents, but maybe they, go off the road for a little while and come back. How did you do that? Explain.
I mean, I think the biggest thing is the way that I believe that our youth, or even anyone that wants to succeed in entrepreneurship, can actually benefit, or any advice that I would give to those entrepreneurs would be to honestly have grace and have patience. And that's grace and patience means having patience, stop trying to rush it. I know we're in an internet day and age where everything comes instantaneously, and I have to look like I have a nice car, and I have to look like I have a nice house, and I have to have different clothes and things to appease to other people. But believe it or not, it will come in due time, and experience is the best teacher. The other thing is having grace with others. So understanding that that person that's your mentor or your parent loves you, and they make mistakes too. Having grace with them, but most of all, having grace with yourself. Sometimes we are our biggest critic, and we start to down ourselves. Oh, I wasn't good enough, or man, I messed that up. And instead saying, hey, you know what did I learn from this? How can I grow from this? And then also take a lot of notes. Just take a million notes and write it down, your thoughts, brain dump, but also take notes from the things that you do so that you can incorporate it into your next venture. And don't be afraid to take risk.
I love that. And I'm actually going to take all of that advice for myself too, because I think that's all very usable for anyone, no matter where you are on your journey. Because I've always known success, you think it's a line, but it's actually
oh man,
right?
And that's why I keep saying grace and patience, because it's like, I want to rush and do this, and I got a great idea, but it doesn't come all at once, right? So you're going to have some grace with whatever's happening, and understand that things do happen, but then keep going and be repetitious. So it's a waiting game, but it's also pushing and pulling when you can. Grace and patience.
And speaking of grace and patience, you've been so active in your community, and the thing that really grabbed my attention earlier this year was the EAT initiative that you've been involved in, especially amid everything that's going on between COVID, the economic collapse, all of these injustices that are happening nationally as well as locally. I think what you're doing with the EAT initiative is so necessary and important. Could you share with everybody what you have going on with them?
Absolutely. And just to echo what you're saying, during a pandemic, it's like you get a fight or flight, kind of vibe where you gotta either fight because your back is against the wall for your community, for yourself, for your family, or you're like, you know what, I just need to go into hiding because I don't know what to do. And one of the things is that we decided having a peace of mind revolves around finance and food and family. So what we did is we understand that food is a major part. We already had this program. We named it because my grandmother, she had to have her leg amputated. Even though she cooked the world, diabetes causes. So we said we're going to create the EAT initiative, empowerment, awareness, and training. So EAT, empowerment, awareness, and training around food. So we do cooking demonstrations live or virtually, and you can check us out on our website as well. Cooking demonstrations. We also provide fresh produce from the Farm to Families program with Monty Verdi, who is a local farm. Oh my gosh. We believe that food, air, and water is a right to people. So we doing our part with the food. We're providing people who don't have access to fresh fruit and produce. And we are excited because we've been able to really have some large contracts with farms to be able to really get food to the people. And we're training them we're training them to be Serve Safe certified and handle the food and know how to actually, cook, do recipes virtually, whatever the case may be, throughout the pandemic. So even with store closures and people not being able to get out, we've been able to really empower and make people aware and train them around food and food security. So we've been excited for all the partners and the people that have supported us and all the people who have been benefiting from it.
No, I love that because it's like that old adage of, give a man to fish or teach a man to fish, right?
Yes, exactly.
That's really awesome. So we're coming to the end of the 5 minutes with, but I would love to know, somebody that has come from Brooklyn, your family's from Haiti, you're living in Pittsburgh. What would it take to make Pittsburgh more livable for all the communities here? In your mind?
I think one of the biggest things that I found is that what it takes for Pittsburgh to become a more livable city is for Pittsburgh to start to understand that everyone's not the same, and that's okay. And so when we talk about the different cultures, it's not just white, black, and Asian and Jewish. It's literally what people do. Like there's steel mill culture. There is, medical, like it's medicine, education, food, or hospitality. There's a lot of different sectors, and now tech, right? So understanding the different cultures and understanding how we can get people to learn and also be very, very hands-on as it comes to different tiers of where they fit in. The other thing I would say about making the place a more livable city is to be honest. Like it's okay. Like there is racism and there is a lot of things that are not going in the direction that us as people who want to have relationship think it's the best, but we need to now address it and not be too shy to have certain conversations. Just because you don't experience it personally doesn't mean it doesn't exist. And then lastly, I want to say, having trying to break these silos. We have a lot of silos in different sectors, whether it's media, whether it's hospitality, whether it's medicine, community development, or development as a whole. There's a lot of people doing great work, and we're scared to talk to each other. I don't want you to steal my idea. That's me, that's that. And we need to start breaking these silos so that we can actually come together. I could do some damage if I poke you like this, but with all my hands together as a fist, I could really do a knockout blow. So I know that's kind of corny, and I'm a dad, so that's kind of corny. But it's kind of one of those things. Like it's true. Yeah, one. So you know what I mean? Kind of give them the knockout punch. You know what I mean? If we come together and do that. So I think that's the kind of approach that I think it is, versus saying, well, I'm over here, you're over there, you stay in Fox Chapel, I'll stay on the hill, you stay on that side. It's like, no, like actually there's some things that we can actually work together on to help and leverage resources so that we can actually make a bigger impact throughout the city.
Oh, I think that's amazing. And I appreciate you so much for taking time out of your super busy schedule.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Oh, I adore you. And I look forward to seeing what else is going on. And thank you again for being a part of 5 Minutes With. So have a great one.
Have a great day. Thank you so much, and talk to you soon.
Definitely.
All right. Okay. Another good one, Natalie. That was great. It's funny when I found out that you had Chef Claude, so many people from so many different places like, oh, I love him so much. I mean, he's been so active in so many different groups, just like what he was talking about. So I mean, practicing what you preach is, props to him for that. That was a great interview.
Yeah, thanks. I just wanted people to kind of get to know him a little bit better, because I saw him on social media all the time, and I wasn't really sure what he was doing, because he seemed to have his hand in a lot of things. And now understanding more of how all those pieces fit together and his underlying message of empowerment and equity through, food service, I just think is such a great message. And the EAT initiative, if you don't know much about it, I really recommend you check it out. It's such a great thing that they're doing, and that the work that they're doing, especially right now during the pandemic, providing, that second meal or that third meal of the day for a lot of people in communities, he's the real deal. So I was really excited to get him to be able to interview him. It was hard though, because he's so busy.
He is busy. He's been at it for a while too.
Yeah.
I know. Pete Spinda, our producer here on the show, I know he worked with him a couple of years ago on a cooking thing with kids, and I mean he's constantly going. Plus, I do love some dad humor.
Well, you know what? It must be the night for dad humor, because you had some good stuff earlier. So I was chuckling as well.
So it all ties in. The planets have lined up.
That's right. It's your night.
Well, all right. Speaking of dad humor, all right. Enough out of that, Dave. We're all done with that. That's the only look inside you guys get. Get it off the screen, Dave. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, they are beautiful.
It was a really great interview, and he's awesome. So I look forward to seeing what he continues to do here in Pittsburgh. And I was a part of that Riverlife. I did one of the portraits. I was really excited to do that because I love Party at the Pier. That's one of my favorite events of the year. So I'm really glad that they were able to make some money and be able to do something to still be fashionable on the rivers. But
did you go to the website and look at the over 300 submissions?
No, I did not. I didn't realize it was already ready. So thank goodness for this show, because I would have been out of the loop. Now I know. I can go and look now. So 300 photos, that'll keep me busy for a while.
Are you disappointed that you did not win?
No, I am not. I used it as an excuse to see a couple of my friends. I asked them, because I told David, my husband, because we were on the host committee, and I said, we really should do a photo, but I know you're not going to want to do a photo. So will you take a photo?
Oh, well, that's nice. Keep him involved.
So, yeah, so he was behind the scenes. So we basically hung out with a couple of friends, took the photo, and then drank champagne and looked at the water, and it was really nice.
Which was perfect.
It was a perfect night.
And honestly, that's awesome that you were able to do that. And the fact that tonight is one of the, like, it has not rained this summer.
I know, and it would have been.
It's like the lowest rainfall, like,
I know.
like in like a 6-week period. It has been nothing but scorching, no rain.
And I remember tonight, a couple of years ago, it did rain for Party at the Pier, and and everybody was so bummed because it was the Italian, I think it was like Italian Riviera or something. So everybody, I think, was really excited to be outside. So I'm not that sad that it didn't happen this year then, because this is a party you want to be outside for.
It gives you a little bit,
Yeah. He found us.
Oh my goodness.
I know. Look at that.
I know some of these ladies.
Yeah. It was a fun excuse to put on a dress. Although I couldn't get Casey and Haley to stop talking. David and I took so many photos. This was literally the only one where all 4 of us were looking at the camera at the same time. It was something.
You got a winner. Sometimes
it was fun to do it.
But honestly, though, you guys are perfectly socially distanced, as I can see.
Exactly. We were trying to be, nice about it.
And you talk about them like gabbing a little bit, but I got to be honest with you, I am never around people. Right. So when like the few times I'm around people, I'm usually wearing a mask, but like my tail starts wagging. I'm just so excited to see somebody. I just want to talk really fast and keep going. This whole pandemic thing has been killing me. Okay.
It's been getting harder to keep my mouth shut because when I'm around somebody, I just get real excited now. So
everybody's itching, but I mean, as long as everybody's keeping the distance, keeping it safe. I mean, it's okay to see people, especially. I mean, enjoy the nice weather now, because this thing's probably going to take us into winter.
I know. It's all right.
So, but that said, okay. Now, Natalie is also a nationally syndicated advice columnist.
Yes.
So, anything anything come up this week?
I did. It was interesting because I got a pretty, I thought, basic question, but people's responses to my answer, like, they did not agree with me, Patrick, at all. And I mean, really nasty about it. It was just, she broke up with her fiance, but they're living together. But since COVID hit, she can't afford to move out because she lost her job during the pandemic. And so, like, there was no compassion for this person who, everybody's response was, well, she broke up with him. She needs to just move out and get a job. And it's like, that wasn't great advice, 6 months ago, just get a job, let alone now. So yeah, people were really not compassionate towards the idea of somebody breaking up and not being able to afford to move out. And like, how do you deal with that when your lease isn't up for 6 months, living with your ex? Like, how does that work? Because I think people assume everybody has family around, but not everybody does.
Not everybody does, and not everybody has a place to go, and not everybody's family can, want you to stay on their couch right now,
right?
Or anything like that.
And right now isn't the time to like ask a friend if you can stay on their couch because of COVID. Nobody's like, you can't just couch hop.
Plus, people have the internet muscles bother me. You know what I mean? They always have, and everyone always says, "Don't read the comments." If you read, you can read the comments on public sites or anything.
Right.
You read the comments on anything, and I want to just like stab myself with.
I know.
I mean, it's just like, wow, there's so much hatred, and but like, I think it's just like you don't have to have the most insulting, biting answer. Like,
it's true.
Like just everybody's there's human beings on the other side of this.
Right.
So you gave like a nice.
I really tried to be like, look, this pandemic has exposed a lot of the economic inequities, a lot of the social inequities that are preventing you from being able to just move out and get a job, right? Mm-hmm. So I think what a lot of this really showed was the failings of these systems, not the failings of the individual, but people did not like that answer and they did not agree with me. And I usually don't read my comments because I learned that a long time ago. But for whatever reason, I just didn't expect people to have, it's always the questions that I don't think are going to have a big response are always the ones that surprise me, I guess. All right. And other ones that I think are like really
Gotcha.
progressive and cool, and people don't seem to
Yeah.
care. So it's just, I don't know. You never know where people's heads are at.
You just got to stick with. You got to just keep answering it from your heart.
Yeah,
Hands written, not
exactly.
worried about what people say, because that's what people are
Totally.
going to
No,
keep
you
reading.
can't. It's like
But-
once it's out there, it doesn't even belong to me anymore.
Right. Well, thank you so much for another great 5 minutes with another talk with this. And also, did I see you might have gotten another little honor? Did I see there might have been a little 40 under 40 action happening in Natalie Bencivenga's future?
I was real excited about that. I did not expect that. And I was like, 40 under 40. So yeah, that really made my week. So thanks for bringing that up.
Well, so, hey, we just wanted to, just give you a little toot on your way out going into the weekend. Well, thank you so much. And everybody, don't forget, you can go to Ask Natalie advice at gmail.com for some questions there. And she'll be back here a week from tonight on Friday with another 5 minutes with. Thanks so much, Natalie.
Oh, great to see you.
We'll see you later. All right. So, we're winding down the show. We had a little bit of a last minute cancellation. Dave Bracey had something come up and he wasn't able to make it to the show tonight, but he will be back next Friday. So if you've been tuning in for Dave, we're sorry he's not going to be here tonight, but he's got a lot to talk about next week. I guarantee it. But now's a good time that I can, have a little room to breathe. Dave, how's the in-show poll going? We might as well call it.
Great. Let's shut this sucker down. You ready to find out? I'm going to be as surprised as you. Now, I think people, like they say, I don't know, which one do I hate more, which one do I love more? Bottom line is, the winner may go on and face another foe. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, you could end up with the pedal bar as the ultimate jagoff. You never know. It's a crazy world out there. All right, here we go.
Do it, Dave.
All right. Final results on the pedal bar versus the tiki bar. Floating tiki bar, boom! 78% for the floating tiki bar. 14 votes.
There's 14 votes for the floating tiki bar, and the pedal bar only got 22. 4 lousy votes. Pittsburgh, you done it again.
I had to go there because I said fart.
Yeah, I heard. You covered it up nicely. Your improvisational skills are money. Can I ask you a question, though, before we get into the overnight poll?
Yeah, have at it.
Why am I Steve Van Man?
Because you were Steve in the Van Man last night.
Oh, all right. I don't have
Like,
a van.
hey, dude, what's up with Steve in the Van Man?
Oh,
What the heck's
I got
Steve
it.
Van Man doing?
I got it. I was wondering. Usually, I get the names you come up with. There's something stupid
quip.
I say on the show. Oh, it's a good quip. I get it now. I get the quip. It's nice. But anyway, folks, we're coming to the end of the show, and that means only one thing for you. We have the overnight jagoff poll. The winner of this will move on. Okay, so Dave, talk to me. What is going on for the overnight?
And you did some groovy artwork on this one, P. Jordan.
Oh, hey.
Gonna make Pete jealous. Oh, baby! Fort Duquesne inbound insanity versus the pierogi race, man. Too fast moving, highfalutin, cinematographic, magical parts of Pittsburgh. Fort Duquesne inbound insanity versus pierogi race. This is your overnight. TogetherPGH.com/vote. Get to it, baby. We love you. That's why we do this for you.
There it is, folks. So you can get to voting. You go to togetherpgh.com/vote, maybe a little bit later on tonight, and you can vote. These are both winners from previous weeks, okay? Now, if you don't know about the Fort Duquesne inbound insanity, you drive it inbound, and you have 4 lanes of traffic and about just like half a river, and there's the signs, you can't see them. They're in there. You got to jump 5. If you're not from here, if you don't know what's going on, you're pretty much screwed. Like what Pete would say, you end up in Cleveland if you make the wrong turn. So that's sweet. It is on. So we're come to the end of the episode. In another week, we are wrapping up our 80th episode tonight. And I'm feeling kind of good about that, Dave. I'm feeling kind of crazed. I can't believe we've been doing this long. This is the end of week 24 and the 80th episode. So I think that, the one thing we've been driving home is, mask wearing. So I think that we might need to give people a little tour through our Hollywood friends about wearing masks. Now, you might not know this, but I'm part Irish, and Liam Neeson is a hell of an actor. So I think that Liam Neeson had something to say about wearing a mask.
Wear a mask.
Cuts the visibility.
I already know what you look like.
See what I'm saying? Also, fashion, right? There was so much fashion in the party at the pier photos, right? In the Riverlife in the photos, right? Revisited in the ports. So what I'm saying is, a little someone named Wesley knew.
Why are you wearing a mask? Were you going to acid or something like that?
Oh no, it's just they're terribly comfortable. I think everyone will be wearing them in the future.
See that? He knew they were going to be wearing masks, and we should all stick with that. Also, I mean, Bane from the Batman movie, he'll tell you about wearing a mask.
Bane's a stretch.
No one cared who I was till I put on the mask.
Well, in that same movie, The Dark Knight Rises, you may have found a little bit of information from Batman.
Wear a mask.
I'm not afraid to be seen standing up to these guys.
The mask's not for you. It's to protect the people you care about.
And, as well as, here's the deal. I've always been a big handshaker. You know what I mean? You meet somebody, you look them in the eye, you shake their hands. But, for the foreseeable future, Doc Holliday is going to tell you what I'm going to be saying.
Forgive me if I don't shake hands.
See what I'm saying? Well, it's been great. There's one moment that kind of sticks out in my mind about mask wearing, and that was the great Sally Wiggin. That's not Sally Wiggin. That was Jim Leland. That works though. Okay.
When I walk out and there's someone without a mask and they come too close to me, I'm just racked with fear, and then I want to punch them in the face.
And if Sally feels like that, we all should too. Anyway, thank you for watching us. Thank you for letting us get to 80 episodes. Thank you to our guests tonight, Matt Galluzzo from Riverlife and Natalie Bencivenga doing another great 5 Minutes With. We will be back Wednesday at 8 o'clock. Please remember that wearing a mask is not a political choice. Take care of yourself. Take care of everybody else. Keep washing your hands, social distancing. We should get through this together. Dave, you got anything else to add? All right. Peace, everybody. Thank you so much.